It's really
the path of Christus Sophia.
Useful.
Teachings of the Golden Rose.
Get into spirituality.
The path of Christus
They
Sophia.
have fuzzy minds, and their experiences tend to
Teachings of the Golden
be so
Rose.
vague
The path of Christus Sophia.
and
Initiation of the Golden
not
Rose.
with no precise, clear.
2019 is the year of initiation and soul embodiment.
Because the mind,
And as initiates of light,
they
we hear the invitation of the heart's calling
the training of the
along
mind
the path of Christus
only,
Sophia, the path of unity and
make
divine love,
precise and clear
through the embrace of the divine feminine and the
the
divine
actual
masculine.
experience, the visceral experience, it can become precise and clear and delineated. But the whole consciousness become trained like a diamond.
That's an interesting point, and it's one that I don't think has come out too many times in this show,
Archetype.
which is that
As flames of
the
divinity,
culturing of the capacity
deepen into
for
the flame of divine
fine,
love,
subtle
through not
discrimination
only self-love
is
and
an
love for our
essential,
brothers and sisters,
or at least very valuable quality on the spiritual path. It really, you don't hear too many people talking about that.
Many traditions do it. If you look at the Tibetan tradition, for instance, you look like the Gelugpa tradition of Dalai Lama.
to draw upon the teachings of the Ascended Ones, through the Sisterhood of the Rose and the Brotherhood of the Light,
Do debates between each other.
through all golden ages,
And then when they debate,
as the sons and daughters
they
of
talk
God.
about a very fine thing, discrimination, because awakening and realization, you have to be very precise and clear to know what is true, what is not. Otherwise,
We have anchored the Christos Sophia light code,
emotion can overlay
ignited the threefold flame, a flame of power, love, and
Chandra was
wisdom
famous for that too. In fact,
within our
he wrote a
loving
book called
hearts,
The Crest Jewel of Discrimination.
and within the hearts of all
and he went around the
awakening
country
and awakened
having
souls.
these deep debates with other
Revering the
spiritual
bodies,
teachers and scholars.
we came together
That's why I like
as
it.
one heart
Without the teaching.
and one unified field
You have
of
to
light.
completeness that way in the realization.
Yeah.
The Sisterhood of the Rose was initially created in the golden age of
He also had a lot
Lemuria,
of heart too. I mean, he
and later as
wrote all these
priestesses in
different
Atlantis.
and so on.
They
So
gathered
he's-
together in circles of 12 to activate the threefold flame through the hearts of all humanity.
Atmananda, if I understand.
There were 12 groups of 12
People
women
always talk
who
about
formed the
direct
Sisterhood
path.
of the Rose.
They're not seeing that
In
as
essence,
of biography.
They held the
You have to go
secrets to the
through
path of
very
ascension through the overlighting
yoga
of the
and
spiritual
did all of
brotherhood,
that before
representing all 144 soul ray aspects
before you
of the beloved I Am Presence,
And he did it.
which takes us through our spiritual and our physical ascension process, as we embody all 12 higher selves and all 12 soul rays of each higher self. We can further think of this as our multidimensional
These days, many
selves,
people who call themselves
in particular,
they only know
archetypes
that
of Christ
part. They don't know
consciousness,
the rest.
the priests
Those
and
masters,
priestesses,
they know a lot.
healers, oracles,
It's a
wise
good point,
women,
and it's
diviners,
one that actually I'm
goddesses,
very interested
counselors,
in. Try to
medicine
out of these
women,
interviews,
shamans, way
my way
shamans,
of seeing
grid
things.
keepers, midwives,
Spiritual
doulas,
development is really
gatekeepers, and so
multifaceted.
on.
To use again that gem.
In the sons of Belial,
and there's so many
artificial
nuances
grids
and
and other negative
avenues of
influences
development, of exploration
disrupted the path of
that,
ascension
it's
and
kind of
one
shame, really,
unity
that sometimes
consciousness
it seems to get
in the Atlantean
oversimplified and
timelines,
dumbed down, you know, to
and the sinking of Atlantis
thing,
was
and everything
imminent.
else is dismissed or rejected. as
Energy of the
frivolous
threefold flame was
or
withdrawn into the newly formed underground cities of light by the Sisterhood of the
So
Rose,
much variety in experience.
in order to preserve the Christos Sophia teachings
So much
and
variety.
anchor the Grail codes or Rose codes.
So
The
much
Sisterhood
variety
knew
what's called
that
enlightenment.
they would go through
People
eons
think
of
it's all
duality
one thing.
consciousness,
Is it?
and with the Brotherhood of the
Each
Light,
tradition has their
protectors
own
of the
path,
divine
really
feminine,
experience
and
something
portrayers
with
of the
all
divine
realization.
masculine,
It's not
held within
exactly
their
what
hearts
the
the
other
threefold
path
flame,
experiences, but
until
they
the
all are
moment
realization,
that our
they are
brothers and
liberation.
sisters awoke,
Because the spiritual world is
and
not
were ready
like
once
the
more to
physical
embody
world
soul
where it's
consciousness
determined in the classical
and monadic
component sense.
consciousness.
It
And
is
each
more
golden
like
age, the
responsible.
threefold flame was anchored and
It's not
activated.
determined, it's dependent
And
on
in this
observance,
golden age, that time
right?
is now.
Quantum theory Nothing is there until you observe it.
As sisters and brothers of the light,
Like that. It is like
we have gone to hell and back in dissolving the karmic timelines and embracing all that arises to know ourselves as love and to shift the karma of humanity. This was a much needed part of our journey to understand the full range of human emotions, which led to the suppression of the divine feminine and the suppression of the divine masculine, created the war of the sexes, and dimmed the light of the goddess. Through many ages, we have seen the persecution of women, notably at its peak in the Middle Ages, where women, as healers and oracles and seers, were burned at the stake, beheaded, raped, and mutilated. The Brotherhood of the Light, also known as the Brotherhood of the Rose, always there too, protecting the sisters.
So is it a blind man and the elephant situation?
In that timeline, they were known as the Knights Templars, and were often too persecuted and killed for protecting the sisters of the Rose.
But according to one's makeup,
these timelines were important to bring us to this point, this moment in time.
Or are you saying that there is
we take a deep breath of divine love, breathing in love and breathing out love,
fundamental yet somewhat different,
and just feel the nurturing of the Divine Mother, as well as the acceleration of the soul embodiment through the higher timelines of divine love, igniting within our loving heart. We are safe now, feeling and experiencing the threefold flame within our loving heart. We have further been experiencing many of our initiations of light on the inner planes through the ray ashrams of Shambhala, and now, coming to the conscious remembrance of our initiations of light, as the goddess and god energy returns to the sacred earth, and we gather once more as the priests and priestesses, merging with timelines of ancient Egypt, Atlantis, and Lemuria, and drawing upon our connection to the ascended realms in new ways, with new teachings, ray colors, and energies, as we travel in soul consciousness to the temples of light of the sisterhood and to the ashrams of light of the brotherhood. This is both a reunion of hearts, of our own inner alchemical mind, as much as it is a divine union of the Christos Sophia codes anchored at 0 point through Jesus the Christ and Mary Magdalene. As we find our way through the flame of the Divine Feminine into the temples of light of the Divine Mother and the Divine Father, and receive at this time initiation of the Golden Rose. The goddess symbol is the rose, and this is often the first symbol we experience in our initiations of the roses. It is Mother Mary who steps forward as the embodiment of the Divine Mother, known as the Divine Mother of Mercy, healing, peace, guidance, grace, love, and protection. She nurtures us by giving us a sense of the Mother energy, which many have felt starved of in this lifetime, no matter the relationship with our own maternal figures.
Could we summarize or conclude by saying that
Mother Mary is of the angelic lineage and consort to Archangel Raphael, working with the ray energies within Shambhala.
Experiencing some
Mary is also known as the Queen of Angels and a powerful archetype of the Divine Feminine, of carrying the inner goddess power and being able to master love for self, as well as mastering nurturing, giving, and mentoring others.
There's always going to be some
In the initiation of the Golden Rose, Mother Mary invites us into a temple of the Immaculate Heart, where she embodies and holds the energy of the threefold flame of power, love, and wisdom. As we journey into our own goddess nature, deep into self-love and self-nurturing, Mother Mary takes us on a journey into our loving hearts and into the embrace of our inner family and inner child, as we allow the tears to flow and our heart to open more deeply in the love of the Divine Mother, while honoring all that we have experienced, to know ourselves as love. As the silent witnesses, the beloved I am present, we take the threefold flame and the colored plumes of pink, the flame of divine love, gold of unity consciousness, and diamond of the energy of purity and innocence in our beloved I am presence across the lower timelines, dissolving them in this now, as we weave our tears of sadness and healing and love. We are then invited into Shambhala, and more particularly into the embrace of Lord Gautama Buddha, planetary logos, through the secondary ashram of love wisdom. Elizabeth Clare Prophet describes Shambhala as being located in the etheric realm over the Gobi Desert in China. This retreat, once physical, has been withdrawn to the etheric octave, or the heaven world. The retreat was originally built for Sanat Kumara, Hayak of Venus, who long ago came to earth in her darkest hour, when all light had gone out in her evolutions, and there was not a single individual on the planet who gave adoration to the God Presence or to the Buddha. Sanat Kumara was accompanied on this mission by a band of 144,000 souls of light, who with him had volunteered to keep the flame of life on behalf of Earth's people. This they vowed to do until the children of God, who turned away from their first love by fallen angels, would respond to the love of God and turn once again to serve their mighty I Am Presence.
Being, if we want to use that word,
400 who formed the avant-garde went before Sanat Kumara, who built on the white island in the brilliant blue Gobi Sea, where the Gobi Desert now is. A magnificent retreat that was to become for all time the legendary Shambhala. The city was originally a physical replica of the Venetian city of the Kumaris. They volunteered from Venus, focused here the 144 virtues of the flames of the elements,
and so then when you get to the human level, you have a fairly
a diamond replica of the focus in the Great Heart.
The experience of being, it seems,
The city of white was approached from the mainland by the beautiful marble brick.
And so what we've been sort of
The main temple of Shambhala is marked by a golden dome and is surrounded by terraces, flame fountains, and at that time 7 temples, which now are 12 temples, each one for each Ray ashram, situated on a wide avenue resembling the Champs-Élysées, lined with trees and flowers, flame fountains, and tropical birds, including bluebirds of happiness.
Spiritual realization about it.
The altar of the threefold flame is the main temple, where the star of Sanat Kumara is hung from the ceiling over the altar.
As I said, the Vedanta way of being is fullness.
Thus, the principal focus of the threefold flame upon this sacred earth was established by Sanat Kumara when he came long ago. Through it, he connected away from his heart to every life stream evolving on the planet, and thus they holy Christ selves to raise mankind's consciousness back to the place where they could be taught the laws of self-mastery. Ignited at this time, the kingdom of Shambhala further plays a central role in Tibetan Buddhism. Author Edwin Birnbaum writes that The sacred texts of the Tibetans speak of Shambhala as a mystical kingdom hidden beneath snow peaks somewhere north of Tibet. There, a line of enlightened kings is supposed to be guiding most secret teachings of Buddhism for a time when all truth in the world outside is lost in war and the lust for power and wealth. Then, according to prophecy, a future king of Shambhala will come out with a great army to destroy the forces of evil and bring in a golden age. Upon his enlightened rule, the world will become at last a place of peace and plenty, filled with the riches of wisdom and compassion. The texts add that a long and mystical journey across a wilderness of deserts and mountains leads to Shambhala. Whoever manages to reach this distant sanctuary, having overcome numerous hardships and obstacles along the way, will find there a secret teaching that will enable him to master time and liberate himself from bondage. The texts warn, however, that only those who are called and have the necessary spiritual preparation will be able to get to Shambhala. Others will find only blinding storms and empty mountains, or even death. Gautama Buddha was the first initiate to serve under Sanat Kumara, hence the one chosen to succeed him in the office of the Lord of the Worlds. In the mid-50s, it is understood that Sanat Kumara placed his mantle on Lord Gautama, where the Chela par excellence of the great Guru also became the hierarch of Shambhala. Today, Gautama Buddha, Lord Buddha, sustains the tie to the threefold flames for all humanity as we experience our first 5 initiations to embody soul consciousness, and then monadic consciousness through our 6th and then 7th initiations respectively, and then many beyond this as we experience the higher ray ashrams, and as we further experience the plasma, crystalline, diamond light bodies. Sanat Kumara returned to Venus and to his twin flame Lady Master Venus. He continues his service to the Great White Brotherhood and advanced evolutions on his home star on behalf of the sacred earth. Lord Buddha, who was born approximately 400 BCE in the area now known as Nepal. He was brought up in a palace with all the comforts and luxuries possible. Growing up as a young noble prince, it is said his father sought to shield the young prince, known as Siddhartha, from the pain and suffering of the world. It is said his father had a premonition that Siddhartha would one day renounce the world. However, at one point in his early adult life, Siddhartha sought to find a greater meaning to life. In disguise, he left the palace and wandered around the kingdom. Here Siddhartha came across different people suffering from old age and illness and witnessed death. It showed him the transitory nature of life, which had a great impact on him. As a consequence, Siddhartha resolved to seek a deeper meaning of life. One day, Siddhartha resolved to sit under a Bodhi tree until he attained enlightenment. For several days he sat in meditation seeking nirvana. He was further tested by various forces which tried to prevent him from realizing his goal. However, Siddhartha was successful and entered into the blissful consciousness of nirvana for several days. On returning to normal consciousness, Siddhartha the Buddha means enlightened one, made the decision to spend the remainder of his life teaching others how to escape the inherent suffering of life. For many years, Buddha traveled around India, particularly around the Ganges Plan and in Nepal, teaching his philosophy of liberation. His teachings were transmitted orally and not written down until many years after his death. What Lord Buddha teaches us is compassion and patience, liberation and understanding that all life is divinely equal. It is just the levels of cosmic consciousness that differs from individual to individual. And that by embracing our challenges and our suffering as initiations of light, we experience once more the threefold flame of power, love, and wisdom. We are invited into Shambhala, where we will experience initially the first 12 ray ashrams and the energy of these rays, and end with this initiation of the Golden Rose, choosing to once more stand in physical form, in our physical body, to remain here, to truly coming home, as we experience our Christed Overself, our 12 higher selves, and then our beloved I Am Presence. This is an invitation to merge more deeply into the Christed consciousness of light that we can experience in this now, and to remember once more and embody the teachings of the Golden Rose as we walk the path of love, the path of the rose. And so it is, and so it is. Ino soa ia kina sia ia, inka ino koa.
You said it before when we were speaking on the phone, that the truth movement is gaining ground, and you've seen that, and that inspires you to hopefully get back involved again, I hope, Dave. If a TI on his own as an individual approaches authority, they're easy to dismiss, but if there's multiples of them, it's a lot more difficult.
At this stage, we've heard a lot of talk about what a targeted individual is. I mean, everyone's heard someone make a string of unbelievable statements like that, but when you hear that person say it, and then you look around and you're in a room with 60 other people all nodding in agreement, that is a weird feeling. Miles Johnston, the head of the conference, broadcasts videos about targeting to millions of viewers worldwide.
Oh, hey, and welcome. This is my little studio. The whole point about this place is to when I interview people, not have a whole lot of tripods and cables and things. So I decided to put this thing up here, which is pretty solid. I'm also an archiver, so I have a lot of stuff on audio reel. So we'll...
No,
But this is just only a laptop.
back
And,
off you. No.
There's our TV studio.
Do you think that so many people would think that they were targeted if they hadn't seen your stuff through the internet?
Remember, these are people who have had very strange experiences in their lives. The proof is now coming through with MRI scans. That's physical, tangible results and evidence.
How many views do your videos get?
I think I'm 13 million or something.
So what are you setting up for now?
I'm setting up to do a quick fast blast based on the latest information I've got about Max. A lot of the people I've interviewed in bases over the last 20 years, very terrible things have subsequently happened to them because what they're talking about is real, it's dangerous, people's lives are affected, and people die in this thing.
Max was a major figure in the targeted community, and he was recently found dead in a villa in Warsaw. He was 39 and had no known health conditions, but a Polish doctor pronounced him dead of natural causes. But the targeted individual community believed that because of what he knew, Max was assassinated.
Death as a bloody lamppost.
Miles took it upon himself to keep everyone informed about the ongoing investigation.
There's a major problem as to the time of death of Max Spears. Max's mother feels that she's been stonewalled and effectively blocked from really finding out what happened to Max. Gone but not forgotten.
Another well-known target Miles has interviewed regularly is Kieran Lee Perrin. How's it going? Good to see you too. Hey, how's it going? Will you take them for a walk?
Yeah, they're due. If someone's being targeted, if they possibly can, is to get a dog or something like that. It enables you to maintain routine.
So are you yourself a targeted individual?
Oh, yes.
What does that mean?
Well, it's a very broad statement these days. Some people that I'm dealing with, they deal with gang stalking predominantly, manipulation of their lives by others. The ones at the more extreme end, like myself, we're dealing with technological manipulation, which is V2K, voice-to-skull technology.
Wow, okay.
So I can be communicated with in my head.
What does that feel? Are you hearing voices inside your head?
Yeah, sometimes it's like that. It's literally a loud voice. I mean, it's in some scientific journals described as the voice of God technology. Phoebe, what's wrong with it? Oh, I see. They're in season. Phoebe, I know that they're in season.
I say hi to you, but because you're in the middle of something.
I am a mind control target.
Oh, I see.
So I've got ICT implants in my head.
Okay.
You've known me for years now. It's why I don't work. It's why I'm always walking around the park. They've been giving me money for years. And it was government doctors that examined me and saw my scans and said, you're telling the truth. Don't ever come back here again. And they gave me a flat and some money. But nobody will talk to me.
Have you ever encountered this sort of thing before with
No,
anyone?
I hope I don't.
It's done via satellite. It's done via satellite.
Oh, okay. And then they're jumping
It's going off
daytime.
globally. I can be hooked up to a wireless network too. It's military technology.
So are you being controlled?
I can be, yeah.
Oh, okay. So who is controlling you then?
That's a $64,000 question. We have the answers to all that. At its core, it will be military, but there are lots of